Welcome back to the Dr. Joanette channel. When I was a kid growing up, I loved to do science experiments. Much to my mother's dismay, I liked to experiment with things in the kitchen, especially things like cooking and creating different recipes. A lot of times they were a bit of a disaster, but my mom was patient and it was the best way to learn. As a kid, that's how we learn. We explore, we experiment, we try different things. In today's video, we are going to do an experiment. I'm Dr. Joanette, your longevity expert and the creator of the Longevity Switch. Our experiment today is based upon something I read a while ago. When we chill a carbohydrate such as oats or cooked oats, it decreases the amount of carbohydrates available for our body to turn into sugar and increases the resistant starches. So why might that be important? And why might it be experiment worthy? Resistant starches are those starches that our bacteria in our gut need to stay healthy and keep our gut and our body healthy. The rest of the carbohydrates in something like oats are what our body then converts into sugar and uses as an energy source. However, a lot of carbohydrates will create what's called a sugar spike. A sugar spike is when our sugar goes higher than it needs to and then quickly returns back to baseline, resulting in that sugar spike, lots of energy, and then that sugar crash, both of which are not the best for our metabolism. The ideal goal for our metabolism would to have kind of a steady state of sugar in our body throughout the day and not a lot of spikes and crashes. If this has been helpful so far, thank you for clicking that like button as well as subscribing. I designed an experiment using my Stelo continuous glucose monitor. Continuously monitors my blood sugar. So when I eat something, I can then monitor how it affects my blood sugar and is being utilized in my body. In this experiment, I took instant oats. Those are the ones you put in the microwave and with some water and microwave for about 1 to 2 minutes. Rolled oats, which you add the water to, cook them on the stove for about 5 minutes, and steel cut oats, put them in a kettle, add the water, and cook them for like 15 minutes. What I wanted to determine was, does chilling them overnight actually decrease the amount that they will spike my blood sugar? Before we get started though, take out a piece of paper and I want you to write down which of these 6 experiments do you think will spike the blood sugar the least? The first one is instant oats eaten hot, or number 2, instant oats eaten after being chilled overnight. Number 3 is rolled oats eaten hot, or rolled oats number 4 eaten after being chilled overnight. Number 5 is steel cut oats eaten hot versus steel cut oats after being chilled overnight and eaten. So let's dive in and take a look at how each one of these affected my blood sugar. The first one is the instant oats. By the way, these are all whole grain oats. The first one is your instant oats. When I ate them hot, you can see from this graph that my blood sugar started out at 70, went up to 155, and then returned back to 70 within about an hour. This is a normal curve that glucose or sugar in your body should take when you eat sugar. It starts out, it peaks at about an hour and then returns to baseline within an hour. When I then chilled them overnight, heated them up, ate them the next day, my sugar again started at 70, only went up to 105 and then returned back to 70 within an hour. Experiment number 3, the next day I ate again 225 grams of hot cooked rolled oats. My glucose started out at 83 at about an hour, peaked at 135, and then rapidly returned to 86 within the second hour. And when I chilled them overnight, it started out at 84 peaked at only 105. 105 is still well within normal. In fact, it's almost within the upper limit of a fasting glucose. In other words, it barely increased my sugar, giving me that more steady state that's important in good nutrition. And then it returned back to my baseline of about 83. And lastly, the steel-cut oats. In experiment number 5, when I ate that 225 grams of hot-cooked steel-cut oats, my sugar was started out at 82, peaked at 146, and then within an hour returned back to 83. The next day, day number 6, I chilled those oats overnight, ate another 225 grams of warmed-up, cooked steel-cut oats, and my sugar started out at 78. Peaked at 115 and then returned back to 78. Here's the interesting thing about experiment number 6. In all of the other experiments, my sugar took an hour to return back to baseline. However, with the steel-cut oats, it actually took an hour and a half to return back to baseline. This is probably because these oats were processed less than the other oats. Therefore, it took longer for my sugar to return back to its baseline. If you found this information fascinating and would like to repeat the experiment yourself, scroll down to the links below and you will be able to follow a link out to where you can purchase yourself a Stelo continuous glucose monitor. I recommend it. It doesn't require a prescription. It's not that expensive. You can purchase it for just a month, or you can purchase it for 3 months or longer. It will help you understand your body and how nutrition and how the food you eat reacts with your body. This experiment is important for helping me understand how the different types of rolled oats react with my body. However, everybody's body is different. Everybody's metabolism is different. And what is true for me may not be true for you. So to find out for sure whether or not something that you eat will spike your sugar or not, then you may want to get one of these Stelo continuous glucose monitors. A continuous glucose monitor will help you also activate your longevity switch for healthier longevity. In addition to the continuous glucose monitor, go to my website at growwithdrjoanette.com and you'll be able to scroll down and explore all the different ways that you can stay healthy. Activate your longevity switch through nutrition, through exercise, through sleep, and through stress management and connection. Thank you so much for joining me today, for participating in my experiment. And by the way, take out that piece of paper now. And what did you write down? Did you guess correctly as to which one was going to spike my glucose, or potentially your glucose the least? Did it help you understand what you can do if you love carbohydrates, especially oatmeal, how you can still have it part of your healthy diet and prevent it potentially from spiking your blood sugar? Drop me a comment below letting me know whether or not you guessed correctly and whether or not you want to try this experiment for yourself. Thank you for watching, clicking that like button, as well as subscribing. Thank you so much also for joining me today and exploring, learning, and understanding how you can activate your longevity switch, be healthier, live longer, and have a great day. We'll see you next time on the Dr. Joanette channel.